Hello. Yes. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. This is Isabella, and welcome to my live webinar. For those of you who don't know anything about this webinar, it is going to be streamed on both Facebook and Instagram. So I will be moving my eyes to each directions. And in the meantime, I want to leave some time for everyone to join, and those of you who are joining, let me know where are you joining from. And today's webinar will be pretty interesting. I've got so many questions about this aspect, about the fitness industry, why I quit, what's going on the inside, especially for somebody who was an insider. It's kind of pretty cool to talk about this and be open and no sugarcoating. So once again, let me know where are you tuning from. Hey Samantha, hello. I'm going to be looking at comments in the Facebook, on the Instagram. So let's start. Let's start. It's already a minute and something. So welcome. My name is Isabella Tisver, um, and I am a former fitness coach, recently more like life and transformational women coach with an intensive background in um, human biology, human anatomy, physiology. I finished two schools, postgraduate and graduate in molecular biology, physiology, and physiology of the lungs. So my background is pretty also medical. I am also fitness and nutritionist, and I am also trauma releasing healer, trauma release, emotional trauma release healer. So there is a plenty I could probably talk who I am, but it's really not about that much who I am here, because it's more about the message I want to bring today to our, hey Arizona, to our conversation. So the title of this webinar slash live slash chat, is about my fitness and personal transformation, and basically what is behind the fitness industry, why I quit, and what I learned from it. So this is what we will be talking about. And so the first thing foremost is like, why am I even talking about this, right? So for those of you, except for those things I mentioned, I I've been scientist for 14 years, and at some point, due to a lot of medical, ethical, moral reasons, I quit science very quickly. Not very quickly, I mean, I quit science literally within a very quick moment, and I shifted to personal training and fitness. So I entered the fitness industry, and it didn't take me a long time for myself to start being in love with those fitness competitions that a lot of women, at least in the place where I was, were either competing at or looking forward to compete. So it was pretty like community and social thing somehow, at least in the place I lived then. So I started looking these things up. I started admiring some of those bodybuilding and bodybuilder women. I really started liking all these muscles. I like how they looked like. And for your info, I've never been really muscular. Most of my life, I was anorexic and extra small size. I've been athletic in high school, like volleyball and track running, sprint running, but not really to the degree that I would develop some kind of muscles. Okay, I played soccer for also several years, which led to my leg development, little more extensive and intensive than I planned and wanted that time when I was a teenager. But that was it. So I was really admiring those muscular people. So I had amazing trainer myself before I became trainer, who encouraged me to do these things, who really showed me a lot of things, who really brought me to the backstage of that entire fitness industry, everything behind bodybuilding. And he was training me towards that goal. It took me 10 months. It took me literally 10 months to get ready for my first bodybuilding competition. And during that time, I also needed to hire a specialized nutritionist who will prepare me for that show. So I had that nutritionist, I had amazing trainer, so I was ready to rock and roll. How did it look like? Because I really want to bring you no sugar coating stuff. How did my life look like when I was preparing for it? There were trainings 6 weeks a day, 6 weeks, excuse me, a week, at least 3 hours a day. In the morning around 1 hour and in the evening around 2 hours. The trainings were very heavy loaded, obviously, because it was a muscle building training. That is obviously the the way to do it. And but because of that, they were pretty tasking on the body. So every single training caused me to be sore. If for many of you who, if you don't know what soreness really is, it's actually a stage of the muscles that are now destroyed, torn apart, and are in the process of detoxifying and cleansing all those debris in order to recover. So that process of soreness is actually when your muscles are truly hurting on the physiological level too. And it's really nothing wrong with it if it's a mild soreness because your body can recover. Your muscles are really a flexible organ. But if it's very much, it may cause a lot of issues, and if it's never recovered, then may cause a lot of issues. So it's pretty tasking on the body, plus time consuming. In terms of nutrition, nutrition is the thing that is probably the most sick and unhealthy in this entire situation because it's very restrictive. You need to count every single calories, including spices you use for your food. Many of the spices are not allowed to use, including any herbal spices are not allowed to use, at least during my preparation. And I know there are many amazing coaches who are more like holistically approaching that aspect, who are totally revamping and that entire industry. But during that time, and many still are doing this way. So spices, everything, every pinch of salt, every pinch of cinnamon, I needed to count. Everything was measured: half a teaspoon, 1/8 of the teaspoon, quarter of the teaspoon. Everything was measured, and there were foods that are not allowed to eat. And those were the foods that are healthy foods, but still you were not allowed to eat. For example, I couldn't have Brussels sprouts, but I could have broccoli. And when I wanted to substitute, I was kind of yelled at by my nutritionist. What do I think about? I need to follow the plan. So at some point during the preparation, I had literally 12 foods in my meal plan for the entire week, for entire 6 weeks preparation, 8 weeks, excuse me, 4 and 4. Those were like tuna, those were like oats, almonds, those were like broccoli, asparagus, spinach. um, I really don't recall much. Egg whites. Egg whites are also. So I had literally 12 foods. And for 8 weeks, my body was eating only those 12 foods in different variations throughout the day. And I was really having diet that was very restrictive, very limited, And when something went slightly off, such as I substituted almonds for the almond butter or peanut butter because I didn't have almonds, but I had the butter, I was yelled at that I'm not following plan. So on top of that restrictive diet, it was a lot of mental and emotional abuse. I will be honest with you. It was abuse. It was such a brainwashing and such a abuse. And I remember when took a picture of my plate and I had sweet potatoes on it because there were days when I could carb up, meaning I could have 2 ounces of sweet potatoes. Mind you, that's probably like sweet potato, like that, half of the medium one. So it was almost nothing. And the lighting of that picture was off. So my nutritionist thought that I have a regular potato, not a sweet potato. And she texted me, yelling at me again. What the heck am I thinking? So nutrition was really um, messed up. But that was the plan. And I was so committed to get on that stage in the best way I can that I was following it. And yes, I did show up on that stage with 6.7% body fat, where there was almost no spot on my body where there wasn't muscle and skin directly connected, so no fat layers at all. That 6.7% was probably coming from the internal organ fat. And yes, I won. And yes, I placed the top. And yes, I was really freaking amazed. I was really proud of myself. And I would probably say that that was one of the biggest accomplishments of my life. At some point, I was even thinking that it was bigger than obtaining PhD. It really felt way bigger. It was a hard work and it was very committed work. When I committed, I was following the plan 100%. Yes, it was bugging me a lot. There were a lot of people wanting to bodybuild, but for them being committed to a meal plan or workout program for a week or 2 weeks was already a lot of struggle, a lot of whining and finding excuses. And of course, it is your choice. It is something what someone chooses. So I chose to do that, and I chose to do that to the best ability I could possibly do then. So, how was my lifestyle? How was my lifestyle? So, nutrition was like this: trainings, I already said, 3 hours every day for 6 days a week. How was my lifestyle? You wouldn't believe, but during one of my bodybuilding preparation, there was um, soccer World Cup, and I was really a big soccer fan. I may still be, but not as crazy as then. So I wanted to be going out with my friends and to the bars and clubs and cheer my team and maybe other teams and enjoy time. I wasn't ordering anything. If I ever ordered anything, it was usually water with lemon, and I had my own boxes. I asked for the utensils usually, and I had my own box. I was always carrying my own food. Always. When I say always, I'm not over exaggerating. Always. Even to the bars, even to the clubs, even to the restaurants. Um, when I was actually ordering, had probably the list of items that I don't want to have in that salad was longer than the list of items that were in that salad. It was it was to the point that my friends didn't want to spend time with me. One friend even said, "It's Isabella, it's really hard to spend time with you." It was. So I was very lonely. I was really antisocial. I was isolating myself and isolated. And I was slowly being removed. And I slowly removed myself from a lot of social activities, probably 95% of them, and a lot of my friends' activities. A lot of friends, of course, dropped out of my life for real and forever even. So social life was as it was. Again, I was committed and I knew what I want, and I didn't care if people don't agree or don't like me carrying boxes. I am going to do that, right? I was truly committed. So this how it looked like, very much. If you have any questions, please let me know, right? I am more than happy to bring everything. So what happened? um yes, I accomplished really something beautiful in that first competition, but but after that I started still preparing, or actually being in that preparation mode to my another competition 8 weeks down the road. And the thing is that if you do competition one after another, you really destroy your body. So like 3 4 weeks into, oh, by the way, after the competition was over, many bodybuilders usually go and eat ice creams, pizza, and the most junky food possible, which I never understood, because for me fitness industry still in my mind was related to health. So if I'm committing 10 months to healthy eating healthy eating, which now we know it wasn't really much healthy, to working out, meaning healthy lifestyle, right? Again, it wasn't really much close to even being healthy. I thought that I want to be healthy all the way. So after competition, I was craving salads. I was craving salads. I wanted loaded salad with lots of different vegetables, with lots of different cheeses, with lots of different seeds and nuts. I wanted loaded salad. So I got myself two custom made loaded salads because this is what I was craving. I wasn't really craving ice cream. I didn't want to sabotage my own progress and my own health, right? That's how I was thinking. So right after that, I was still on that preparation, very limited, restrictive diet to continue to not gain too much, to really actually prevent from gaining anything, to keep being very lean so I can step on the stage 8 months, 8 weeks later on. 2 3 weeks down the road, I started feeling very bad. I already started having problems with sleeping. And for me, that was the first time in my life having problems with the sleep. I started having problems with my hair and nails and skin. So it was they were very soft and breaking very easily. My hair were falling off. And then I had a lot of problems with energy level. Lots of problems with energy. Duh, right? So what happened, I wanted at some point at work, at my regular science work, then yet still was there working for the last few months before I quit totally. I couldn't, the elevator broke and I couldn't literally get myself up to the second level on the stairs. I needed to hold on the rail. And mind you, I was 34. I needed to hold on the rail. I was an athlete. I was bodybuilder. I was in my mind supposed to be healthy, fit, active, energized, right? Yet, and I am young, yet I barely can walk up the stairs without holding on the rail. I couldn't make a step forward. After that, I said, no, something is off. So I contacted my nutritionist and she yelled at me again, calling me names and telling me that I don't know anything about nutrition and I don't know anything about preparation for the uh, bodybuilding show. And I was like, wait a minute, what the heck is going on? I'm telling you how I'm feeling and I need your help. You are my nutritionist. So her reasoning behind was, let's put me on the sleep aid medicine or melatonin or supplement. Let give me some pre-workout energy booster for morning and post-workout boosters so I keep having energy around workouts and throughout the day, right? And by the way, you probably should start taking hormones, steroids, because you didn't win the first place. You won the second place on the last competition because you were too white, a little less muscular than the girl on the first place. When I heard all that thing, I said, you know what? Let me research things about that and I'll get back to you on Monday. And I spent all weekend researching steroids. I didn't need to research melatonin. I didn't need to research pre-workouts. I already knew. I already knew that pre-workouts were the most dangerous things apart from steroids for any body, human body. And bodybuilders are loading themselves with those toxins. I researched the steroids and I'm like, no, I cannot do that. And I was having hormonal issues since I was 21. I'm like, I cannot do that. I cannot add extra. And mind you, again, medical background, very educated, smart woman. No, I am not going to do that. So I got back to her on Monday and I said, all right, I am not going to do that. So she told me again that I am dumb, that I don't know anything about it, and that was the first time when I stood up for myself and said, you know what? I am PhD here. I know what anatomy, physiology is. I know what symptoms my body is delivering or showing me. I know my body and I'm communicating with you and you don't give a shit. So I dumped her. I literally fired her that Monday and I found another holistic nutritionist who I was working with for a year and a half and who helped me incredibly, who by nutrition's holistic approach to nutrition, herbs, spices, literally minimal amount of supplements, but lots of good food, she brought me up. At that point, when I was telling you I was barely walking, I literally had adrenal fatigue stage 4. Mind you, stage 5 is the hospitalized case. I was so close to be hospitalized. When I showed up on the stage, that second stage, I was exhausted. I was so exhausted. I was so tired that I didn't care what are the results. I knew I didn't even place and I didn't even wait for the results. After morning show off, I didn't wait for the afternoon results. I took the car, I drove back home because all I wanted was to sleep, rest, and eat healthy food. So that was more or less the story. So I wanted to also mention one aspect. After that second stage, I really kept still eating healthy. I didn't return to ice cream. I didn't even eat pizza. I wasn't a fan of pasta. So I didn't really have much problems. But for me, my mindset was like, I committed so much, not only time, effort, energy, but also money to healthy lifestyle. Plus, before all of this happened, at the age of 32, I had heart attack. So I knew I am not going back to bad lifestyle and bad food choices. I wanted to be healthy. That was my primary goal. I didn't know I will get into such a hole that wasn't healthy at all. But I still wanted. So with that holistic nutritionist, I was still keeping very lean, very active, but then active in so many different ways. She told me to go for runs. She told me to do yoga. She told me to have active recovery rest, such as hikes, to enjoy the sunset, to enjoy the sunrise, to enjoy my food, to eat colorful vegetables, as many as I can, to use spices. I was in heaven because I wanted to cook like my sister cooks in Italy, full of flavor and beautifully, colorfully, and so on. So I was really happy. But at some point, of course, I was obsessively monitoring food. I was obsessively monitoring weight. I was obsessively monitoring my body fat percentage. And at some point, I realized week after the last show that I gained 2 pounds and 1% of body fat. I stepped away from the weight and I started crying and I started weeping. I felt like piece of shit. I felt so bad about myself. I felt fat. I felt unworthy. I felt not enough. And I texted my holistic nutritionist and life coach. I feel like crap. I gained 2 pounds. I am fat. And her response was, girl, we need to talk. And I described that moment in my book too. my book, which is entitled The True Identity, and you can get that book on Amazon. Um, we had a talk. We had really serious talk. It was emotional. It was very mentally tasking, but it was a serious talk. It wasn't about food, nutrition. It wasn't about workouts. It was about me. I developed extreme case of bulimia. I haven't been hospitalized, but I've got to the point where I didn't hold any food, where I purged every single meal, every single food, where I was experiencing actual physical pains of my entire intestines and esophagus and stomach and so on. I developed extreme body image issues. Mentally, I was devastated. I was devastated. And I haven't had that before, really. I was anorexic in my high school, but I wasn't bulimic and I wasn't having such issues about my body image. I was conscious, but I wasn't obsessed and so hateful. There were moments when I wanted to rip the skin out of me, cut it out, rip it off. I wanted to violate myself and hurt myself. So so that would be it. So now I wanted, because it is webinar, and I would like you to take something from this. Not only listen to my story, but also take some tips and hints and my suggestions from this entire conversation. But before I start to giving you all those tips, which are really important, I would like you to to pay attention to them and see if they resonate with you, if you can apply some of them and pay attention to them or have them on your mind when things come to use them. But before we do that, if you have any questions, I don't see anything on Facebook, but I see here. Have you had any blood results or any medical examination during bodybuilding journey or after? No, I haven't, because I didn't have insurance. I didn't have insurance, so I couldn't have it. So the only way, so I didn't know anything about my blood work during working with that fake nutritionist. But as soon as I started working with my actual holistic nutritionist, I was having journal, reporting to her every single symptoms, episodes, feelings of nausea, feelings of anxiety, dizziness, energy level, everything, the length of my sleep, everything. So based on those symptoms, she could holistically direct me and see where we would be having problems. That's why we knew it's adrenal fatigue, and I was just hoping that my thyroid is not going to get shut down during that time. So, no, I haven't had. I wish I had. I wish I had. The only thing I know, because during that time I was frequently visiting OBGYN gynecologist because of my hormonal problems. So for this, I needed to go frequently, I think every quarter. So I knew I wasn't anemic because my hemoglobin and iron level was okay. So I wasn't anemic, and that was good, but everything else was slowly shutting down. So no, unfortunately, but I wish. I know there are confirmed cases of anemia, of adrenal fatigue, stage 3, 4, and 5, Hashimoto development, thyroid hypoactivity, which are really developed intensively among bodybuilding women. And I was aiming that, I was going that direction too. But many women don't talk about this, unfortunately. Thank you for your question, Carolina. Okay, let's continue then. So my tips, first thing foremost, always research and ask around about coaches you want to hire. It is you who are investing in yourself. Those are your money, that's your body, that's your life, those are your goals and your choices. And you need somebody who will be listening to you and supporting you on your journey. You don't want anybody who will be projecting onto you their own visions, goals, plans, their own insecurities on you. You don't want that. You want somebody who will help you and make sure that you are successful in a way that is aligned with you. So if you voice out any issues, that person listens to you, that person's address those aspects. Okay, so research, ask people around. Don't be afraid to look at the testimonials of the coaches. Reach out on Facebook to people. I did that with my holistic nutrition. I looked who she's coaching, and I literally messaged those people privately, said, "Hey, I'm Isabella. I'm looking into hiring this and this coach, and I would love to hear from you how she is, because I've had bad experience, and I badly am looking for somebody who will help me out. I'm really at the phase where I am really screwed up, right? Screwed up in a way that, yeah, maybe I will end up in the hospital again at age of 34. 32, I had heart attack. At 34, I was adrenal fatigue 4 and almost barely walking. I'm like, I really didn't want to end up in the hospital again. That was not the case. And all these 2 years, my goal was to get healthy. Right? Such a surprise. So please, always research that, check it out. Give yourself time. If you need to hire somebody, don't hire that person right away. Sign up for their webinars, watch their YouTube, watch their previous IGTV videos, and see if that's resonate with you. If this what she's saying, how she's saying things is resonating with you. When I signed up for 2 webinars with my holistic coach, and I was listening to her. I asked questions during that webinar because I wanted to see if she knows what she's doing, and you can sense that very quickly. And there are red flags also. Please watch for red flags. So what I said, if you will have somebody who will be projecting on you their insecurities, who will be shooting you, meaning you should be doing, you need to do this, you shouldn't be doing this. And if you have also somebody abusing you, literally calling your names, telling you don't know anything, you are dumb, or some, God forbid you are dumb, or you don't know anything. Oh, I mentioned that. If those are red flags, you don't want to work with a person like that. No, you don't need that. I'm like, excuse me, the fact that you are hiring coach doesn't mean you are stupid. It means that you need help and guidance in that particular area of your life, because obviously we are not experts in every area of our life, and we will never be. I mean, that time I was just personal trainer. I didn't have my nutritional expertise yet, but I was biologist. So I had a lot of nutritional and biological, anatomical, physiological background. So to become nutritionist, I just needed a paper. I didn't need any extra education. So I knew what was going on, but yeah, according to that coach, I was dumb and stupid because I am not her. So just remember, you are not stupid when you're hiring a coach. You are actually smart. You know what you want, and you ask for what you want. And if that's not delivered, you have right to fire that person. You have right to let it go. So those are red flags. Remember those shoulds, abusive words, abusive approach to you, treating you like a puppet, because you are paying their coach and they think that they have now ownership over you and they can treat you poorly. No, 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 no. Another one, I have a little thing here. Um, Remember, not everyone will resonate with you, just like not every client resonates with me. And I had clients I said no to. I had it, and I will have those. And I will do it because if I don't resonate with them, and if I already after first consultation sense that the energy is so draining that I will be really dragging it, then I refuse to coach, because it's not going to benefit either of us. Why do I need to? Why do I spend my energy, but I also spend their time, money, and energy for doing something what may not feel right? The same applies to you. If you feel that this coach, that coach doesn't resonate with you. I had business coach last year, which I didn't renew this year because it doesn't resonate with me anymore. It's okay. I learned what I learned. I'm extremely grateful for, but I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to possibly either learn from someone else or apply actually what I learned, because I already know that I have, at least for this level of my business, enough knowledge, right? It is okay to quit, to not renew, to stop the contract because you don't resonate. And if it's really bothering you, please don't treat yourself poorly by staying with someone who is not a good fit for you. And that applies to coaches. That applies to coaches. You have right to choose too. Actually, you have right to choose because you are the one who is paying, right? Be open with them and let them know what you want. I really want always my clients to communicate with me as much as possible. What you like, what you don't like. Okay, you don't like this, we are not going to do that. What I ask them on first consultation, hey, how are you feeling about this? How would you feel about this approach? How would you feel about this? I ask them, hey, do you eat meats? Because I want to honor their food choices. I remember when I was on that diet and I had a friend who was vegan, and I was already nutritionist, and she wanted me to coach her on the vegan way. And I said, excuse me, and I'm sorry, but I really will have hard time coaching you towards bodybuilding show with vegan diet because I don't have experience with that. Because somehow I had that again mindset that you need to eat meat in order to get proteins. That's big bullshit right now, I can tell you. No, no, no. You can be totally vegan and bodybuild. And I directed her to really amazing friend of mine who was a several bodybuilder already stepping on the stage, vegan, full vegan approach, beautiful body, amazing body, fully developed like any another body who is eating meat. So vegan bodybuilders do exist and they do really, really well. Probably way better than some of the other ones, but okay. So just be honest. Say what you want to say. Say what you don't want in your meal plan or training program, what you cannot agree with. Talk open. Don't hide any injuries. Don't hide any medicine, because those things are very crucial and important. If you want your coach to treat you respectfully and help you fully for your highest benefit, you need to be honest with them. Then another thing is exactly speak up. Speak up, speak up, speak up. It is you who are investing in yourself. It is your body. It is your journey. It is your life. You need to speak up if you don't like something. If you don't want something, you need to. You need to. I mean, I just cannot even picture that. Like after 2 months, when that nutritionist was pushing onto me pre-workouts, take this pre-workout. After that pre-workout twice, I puked like hell. I was purging like hell, not purging, puking, vomiting. My friend who was working out with me then, he's like, no, this is not right, Isabella. I'm taking pre-workouts too. But that never happened. This is something wrong. Tell her. Again, I was dumb and stupid and I don't know anything. So when things were, escalating, I eventually spoke out. I should have spoken out and spoken up way earlier. So my deep advice is speak it up as soon as, and it doesn't need to be rude. If you see something is not resonating with you right away, talk it out and say, hey, listen, I'm observing this, I'm monitoring this, I'm feeling that way. I want you to address this. I would like you to address this because that's not right. And if she's not addressing or telling you are wrong or something, that's already a red flag. Um, in terms of researching, research also what is given to you. Oh my gosh, I cannot emphasize that more. Like there is so many people following programs and meal plans and everything like zombie, like dumb zombie, like totally not even being interested in what they are putting in their mouth. It's like seriously, seriously. Like when I get questions from my clients, Isabella, Why do I need to take magnesium? Isabella, why do you want me to eat this? Or why do you want me to eat this on breakfast and this for dinner? When they ask me this, I freaking love it because it's not only my science type awakens, but I can explain to them because first of all, I can see that they are interested, they want to know what I'm providing. And I usually try to explain as many things as possible straight away during our calls, but many things I can miss, and many things I am not able to read, my clients mind, so I don't know what they know, what they don't know. So they ask and ask, research. When you are given some particular supplements, ask, why do you need to take that? What is going to help you with? What are the side effects? If you don't get all these informations, red flag, right? But then you go and research, read about this. Read about, read, educate yourself, get to know what you are eating, what you are putting your body through, so you can also give yourself as much help as possible and speak up and be advocate for yourself, because this, again, when it comes, when I tell you all the steps, everything comes back to who you are, the most important person in this case, and you need to be aware what's going on and what you need, and speak it up, research, look for things, have a journal. My really real deep um, kind of encouragements, have a journal. And don't have a journal for tracking calories and how much you ate, 2 ounces of cinnamon, and you burned 436 calories and you walked 1749 steps. Seriously, that's not what I'm asking you for. uh, just to emphasize, I had those journals, and you would be surprised when I showed my husband my journals throughout my old, and I was tracking every single ounce of food and every single calorie. Every single time that I ate 1 tablespoon of peanut butter more than I was allowed, there was a comment written in red: you suck, you are nothing, you cannot accomplish goals. This how I was talking to myself. So no, I'm not asking you to do this type of journal. I'm asking you to do journal which will be holistic journal, where you will be tracking things like sleep, amount of water drunk, if you drink any type of sodas or coffee, how much did you drink? How is your energy level? How are your cravings? Actual cravings, not the food you eat when you are bored, but the food you really crave. What's the difference between the two? When you are sitting in front of the TV after dinner, which was fulfilling, and you still want to crunch on something, that's usually boredom. But when you finish your meal, you are full, and then suddenly out of nowhere, you're like, oh, I would like to have a slice of bread out of nowhere, and maybe you didn't even have a bread for a long time and suddenly you want the bread. Those are cravings. Monitor those two because they indicate what are the deficiencies in your body, what your body needs, and the good holistic nutritionist and life coach will know what those mean and how to help you. Monitor your mood, energy level, I already mentioned that. Monitor your cycle days, that is crucial. All my clients, whenever I am having discussions with them, I ask them what cycle that you are at, because it is really crucial for your mentality, for your emotionality, for your energy level, for your body, how it responds to particular nutritions, what does it want, what doesn't, what don't doesn't, what does want, what doesn't want. And so it is I'm planning to do a course on that, because it's amazing how I learned about my body by tracking my cycle and getting to know my cycle. So it's really important to track this. Our hormones change, our women hormones change, and that's really affecting a lot in case of fitness and nutrition. Track your emotions, track the feelings and symptoms and sensations in your body after particular foods, after your training. Track any type of weird symptoms, weird pains, anything, because those things are like gold mine for a coach. Like for me, I want all these things. They are truly the best thing to work with because I have everything and I know about you as much as I can possibly know, except for the fact that I don't live in your body. But I really get to know my client and I can help them as much as possible. Seriously, seriously. Another thing, going back to cycle, I remember several clients. Usually, sweet cravings are the issues, right? And then, oh, Isabella, I am craving sweets like heck. Okay, magnesium, probably. 2 weeks later, they are fine. Isabella, I want a chocolate. I'm like, what day of the cycle are you? Oh, 5 days before period. I'm like, yeah, you want a chocolate because that's very natural. Chocolate has magnesium and iron. And also red meat. Many times women wants to eat meat, the red meat before period, because our body wants to prepare itself for bleeding, for losing all those elements. So it want to store as many of them, right, ahead of time. A lot of things can be explained that way, seriously. And in the end, I also wanted to say, um, listen to your body. So I had recently a break, 1.5 year from working out. And many people ask me on my Instagram when I posted that in my stories, why, what happened? I will be honest with you. I was fed up with training. I was fed up. Like, I couldn't drag myself to do training. I was going for walks and I freaking enjoyed them. I was doing yoga almost every day and I freaking enjoy it. I was doing stretches or wild dancing in my living room and I enjoyed it. But I just couldn't make myself work out. And you know what? I if I cannot make myself, if I cannot make myself and I drag, and it was literally all year long, dragging. I went to the gym for 1 or 2 workouts and I couldn't. Ugh. Again, I didn't go for next two. I did again some home-based workout. I was, oh, maybe now, again. And it was, first of all, my body was exhausted of it. So I really was listening to my body. But on top of that, also, I think I was looking for something else to give myself a break, to give myself that realizations that I can be fit and healthy and active and enjoying it in different way than just workouts, heavy, weights workout, so on, so on. So that's why I took the break primarily. It was just listening to my body. And that's why I invite you. Having such a journal is really amazing awareness and and practice to start listening to your body, to start listening to every single symptoms, every single hint and tip that body is sending towards you. So at the end, I wanted to um, answer the question. If you have any questions, please keep asking. Answer the last question, which was the frequently and most frequently asked questions, is I quit the fitness industry, why I did quit that fitness industry. First, because of its fakeness, because of its saying that it is healthy so basically it is unhealthy under the umbrella of healthy. Everything is healthy, healthy, beautiful. You will be fit and healthy and strong and amazing, and you will have energy, dara dara yada yada. All this beautiful healthy umbrella, and underneath rotten unhealthy root. That I couldn't stand that fakeness. I couldn't stand that fake. And I'm not talking about holistic approach. And I'm not talking, but even among holistic coaches, which I followed, I could see the same approach, the push. Because the second thing why I quit the fitness is that push through forcing approach to your body in a unhealthy again way, because I understand we need some little push, we need some motivation, we need something, but if it's beyond your body's ability to the point where you can get sick, injured, pain, it is not okay. It is not okay. So that push through, that force yourself, you've got this type of approach. No, that wasn't resonating with me. That wasn't stimulating me anymore. It was rather reinforcing in my mindset that I am not enough and I don't do enough, because every single time I need to push more and do more. It just wasn't right. So unhealthy versus healthy, again, the fake healthiness under the umbrella of healthy, but in reality very unhealthy approach, very unholistic approach. That's another third reason, very unholistic approach. We need to remember, I really want you to remember, if there is nothing you will remember from this webinar, I hope you will remember that one thing. You are a of mentality, emotionality, spirituality, and physicality. None of those four things can be separated, removed from your life. No, they cannot. You as a whole are all those four. What degree of them are developed in your life, it's all upon you and depending on you where you put your focus on. But in reality, it is about balance between all those four. But fitness industry is focusing only on the physicality, disregarding mentality, emotionality. And no wonder why I got into bulimia, into such a obsessive hatred, body image issues, that because all this pushing, forcing, you're not enough, you should be eating this way, you should be doing that way, all these shoulds and pushes and forces, they are not nurturing your mentality and emotionality. They are not the ones that listen to your needs, that listen to you. It's like you are not feeling heard at all. It's like you do this because we know better than you. No, no, no. You know better than they do about your body. Another thing is putting yourself as the enemy. Do you know that quote? Look in the mirror. This is your biggest competition. I hate that quote. I hate that quote with all my being. It's like, no, look in the mirror. That's your best friend ever. This is the person in that mirror. You should, that's probably the only should I use sometimes. You should be friend with. That's the only. If you're looking at yourself and you seeing yourself as competition, think about how much harm does to your emotionality, self-esteem, self-worthiness, acceptance yourself, and self-love. None of those things exist in fitness industry. There is no self-esteem, there is no self-worth, there is no self-confidence. It's big show off and fakeness. And that's another reason, I don't remember which one. It is putting your physicality, especially your body, as a product, creating or actually treating your body as a product to show off, to sell, to promote. So in the end, you are becoming who? You look at yourself in the mirror, see the biggest competition ever. You hate your body because your body is not the perfect body your fitness industry wants you to have. And that way you are unworthy and you most likely suck and you probably never will accomplish anything in your life. Isn't it this what some many fitness industry areas are telling us? Yes, it is. Let me be blunt. Let me be honest. Let me be not sugarcoating here, because I hate sugarcoating about fitness industry. I just stopped doing that. So in the end, instead of healthy, like that was my goal before I entered fitness industry from the professional as well as personal side. My goal was to become healthy. After my heart attack and cervical cancer, all I wanted in my life to become healthy. And I ended up on the other side of being extremely unhealthy, seeing what's going on in the backstage. So do yourself a favor and literally filter everything that is coming from fitness industry. And I'm glad I'm doing this webinar now at the beginning of the year, because fitness industry is the highest earning industry in January among probably every single area of our life, and in the marketing and in the production systems and so on. It's something when I ask people, what are your goals for 2021, for example, which I don't, because I don't have personally yet. I have, but it's not like I'm obsessed or something. And I have goals that are always with me, and I don't need to be, talking about them and doing resolutions for them. But when I do ask, it's usually related to fitness. It's very sad, because if we would be just as focused on our mental and emotional health, or our spirituality that basically embraces all of it together, if we would be as committed to these aspects of our life, we would be golden. But no, we think that our body, because this is what is perceived out there, that our body is this what is selling. You know how many times as a trainer I got people interested in training with me just because how I looked like? It was very upsetting. Now it's upsetting. Then I knew I need to keep my body looking the most perfectly, and because otherwise people won't hire me. Otherwise I am bad trainer. Oh my gosh, I was the only trainer in the entire gym around among 26 trainers who had PhD, and who had blocked schedule to the point that manager was asking if I have any open slot, because there are people asking for only me as their trainer. And I needed to say no to people who wanted to train only with me, not with other trainers. Yet, many times I thought, okay, my body, and if I don't keep my body perfectly looking, I will not have clients. What a bullshit I was telling myself. What a bullshit I was telling myself. And this is, and I want to finish because we've got 3 minutes here. So if you have any questions on Instagram, let me know, because I know Instagram is going to cut us within an hour. So we'll finish that. Let's continue this conversation if you want. Continue this conversation. If there is anything from this webinar that you took out, share with me, tag me in your posts and Instagram stories. Share this webinar with others. This webinar will be saved on Facebook, on Instagram TV, IGTV, and I will also post this afternoon, this webinar, to my YouTube channel. So it will be available everywhere possible. So, but when you are sharing, share, tag me, so I know that you are sharing. I know that this message is being delivered to as many people as possible. And if you do have any questions, if there is anything that you want me to explore and expand on, let me know. And also, yeah, share whatever you took out of this webinar, because I'm really also interested. For those of you who are here live, if you want to still share before we get cut off from Instagram or on Facebook, do share with me if there is anything you took, some kind of bottom line message that you took out from this webinar. I would be really interested to hear how this resonated with you, if there was anything that helped you to maybe make some decisions in the future, or maybe gave you some aha moments and realizations from this, what you just learned today, based on what you've done in the past. Anything is welcome here. And I want to say thank you so much for being here, for listening to me, and for being present, and for witnessing me. That's most important. Thank you for witnessing me, because I will be honest with you, I was kind of stressed this morning. I do live videos since many years and I'm never stressed, but I was kind of stressed because of the vulnerability I knew I will be coming up with. So thank you for witnessing me. Thank you for being here for me, for other people, for other women, being so inspirational and motivational. And thank you for you, for being here for yourself and for all people around you. I love you all, and I'm sending you a lot of hugs, and see you in our next gathering and webinar. Bye. Let me see where to end this. Cool.